Hello everyone, this is lecture number 17 of hydraulic machines, and in this lecture we are going to study turbine and its types. In the last lecture we had studied about the hydropower plant, and in any hydropower plant the heart of that hydropower plant is turbine. So if we want to construct a hydroelectric power plant, then we must have to know about the turbines and its type, because without knowing the turbine and its type we will not construct a hydropower plant project, because the availability of head, discharge and other factors will affect the working of turbine. So all these factors will define which type of turbine will be suitable for that specific hydropower plant project. So first of all we should know about what is turbine and what does it do, and then what are their types. So moving towards the first slide, uh, let us first of all let us clear that what are hydraulic machines. In the last few lectures, if you go in the lecture number 9, 10, we would you would you will see that there is an other hydraulic machine which is called as pump, and in this lecture we are calling turbine also as a hydraulic machine. So there must be some difference between pump and turbine, which will be explained here. So if we define turbine, so the definition says that a turbine is a machine which converts the hydraulic energy into mechanical energy. So if we say that the turbine will possess the energy of water, or we can say that it will extract the energy of water and convert it into the mechanical energy, and later on it will be converted into electrical energy with the help of generator. But in case of pump, this happens just about its vice versa, or we can say that a pump is a device which transfer the mechanical energy of a motor on a water. So you will see the difference here, that when a turbine is operated it will extract the energy of water, and when a pump is operated the pump will transfer its mechanical energy to the water. Or we can say that by the help of pump we are generating the pressure to the hydraulic system, and with the help of turbine we are extracting the power of the hydraulic system. So both are just vice versa of each other, or we can say that they are inversely proportional. If you see the diagram you will see that just a minute, I will show you. uh, Here is a pump. If you can see first image, here is a pump, here is its motor. When we provide the electrical energy, then motor rotates the shaft and shaft rotates the pump. As a result it starts sucking water and supplying water at a required head and required flow rate. But when we consider the turbine, if you will see the image on the right hand side, this is the image of an turbine. Here water strikes the blade of the turbine or the runner, as a result of which the turbine starts rotating, and along with a shaft is connected. So here by the striking of water to the runner, the hydraulic energy of the water will be converted into the mechanical energy, and later on at the same shaft a generator will also be coupled at the other end, and by the help of generator we will convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So these are the basics of the hydraulic machines. In our syllabus we have to study about both pump and turbine, and here it will be differentiated or you can say that what the difference between the turbine and pump. Once again I will repeat, both pump and turbine are the hydraulic machines, but the difference is that both are just opposite to each other. In turbine, we are extracting the hydraulic energy of water and converting it into the mechanical energy, whereas in the pump, we are converting the mechanical energy of the motor into the hydraulic energy. So here, in one system, we are extracting the energy of water, and in other system, we are giving the energy to the water system. So these are the basic difference between pump and turbine. So moving towards the first slide, next slide, here a question arises: what is hydraulic turbine? Of course, I have mentioned here hydraulic turbine because turbines are of very types, like steam turbines. So and here one is hydraulic turbine. You will also see some wind turbine. uh, the basic difference is that in steam turbine, that is also called as gas turbine, which are used in the nuclear power plant, where these turbine will run when the nuclear reactor heat up the water, and as a result these water will change into vapor, and these vapor will runs the turbine. So the steam turbines will be very efficiently effic- very efficiently work under the nuclear power plants, because in nuclear power plant we will generate excessive amount of heat by nuclear reactions, and that heat will be transferred to the water system and the boilers, and there boiler in boilers the water start boiling, and their vapor will be uh, directly supplied to the steam turbine. As a result, we will obtain the electrical energy. Whereas in wind turbine, as you see in the movies or anywhere, if uh, you will see the wind turbine, or you will just google the name wind turbine, you will see a structure of fan in mounted on a vertical shaft in a open area, where it will be driven with the force of air, or you can say that this type of turbine will only be operated with the air force, and the force which will applied on the blades of turbines, and with that force of the air the turbine start rotating, and then we will convert the energy of the air into the electrical energy. So here you can say that the turbines are of very types, like steam turbines or wind turbines or hydraulic turbines. In our syllabus we have to study only about hydraulic turbine, or we can say that the turbine which will work under the head of water, or which will work directly with the impact of water. Neither we have to study about the steam turbine, nor we have to study about wind turbine. So moving toward the hydraulic turbine, if we simply define hydraulic turbine, you can simply say that a turbine which will directly work with the pressure of water or impulsive force of water is called as hydraulic turbine. Or we can say that when a turbine is operated with the help of pressure or forces applied by the running water through the penstock to the blades, then that type of turbine will called as hydraulic turbine. So in the definition we can see that here it is defined that hydraulic turbines have row of blades fitted on a rotating shaft or a rotating plate, flowing liquid, mostly water, when passes through the hydraulic turbine. It strikes the blades of the turbine and makes the shaft rotate. While flowing through the hydraulic turbine, velocity and pressure of the liquid reduces, as a result development of torque and rotation of the turbine of the shaft. If we define in the simple word, we can just say that when a force of water is applied to the blades of the runner of the turbine, it starts rotating and it is coupled to a shaft. As a result, when runner rotates, the shaft will also rotate, and at the shaft we have mounted a generator which will convert the mechanical energy of that shaft into the electrical energy. So this is the basic definition of hydraulic turbine. And How it will work? It is simply work on the kinetic energy or the conversion of kinetic into pressure energy. I will discuss it later in the next slide. What turbines are called when it works on the kinetic energy only, and when it works on the basis of the combination of both kinetic and pressure energy. So before moving toward that slide, let us classify the hydraulic turbines. So we will classify the hydraulic turbines on the three bases, which are as: first one is based on flow path, second one is based on pressure change, and third one based on head. Or you can say that what we can say that these are the basic classification of turbine. After all, we have to study only three turbines, and which I will tell you later. First of all, we should know the classification of hydraulic turbines on the basis of flow path. So here is the classification of turbine on the basis of flow path. As you can see, there are three types of classification. First one is axial flow hydraulic turbine, second one is radial flow hydraulic turbines, and third one is mixed flow hydraulic turbine. So if we define the axial flow turbine, these are a turbine in which the water will flow parallel to the axis of rotation, or we can say that water will flow axially to the runner of the blade. Like if you see an image here, you can see that there are three types of turbine. First one is axial, and that is this is your axial flow turbine. Forget these two. First of all, you will know axial flow turbine. This is the rotation axis, and this shaft is coupled to the hub of the turbine, and this hub is called as runner, which consists of the assembly of blades. So in this turbine, you will see that the direction of flow which will be shown in blue color here, the direction is parallel to the axis of rotation. If I will remove all the other things, so here you can say that this is a shaft and this is the direction of flow of water. Both are parallel to each other. Or you can say that when the direction of flow is parallel to the axis of rotation, that type of turbine is called as axial flow turbine. As you can see in the other two images, here water is entering radially and leaving axially. Here it implies that tangential direction. But in the Kaplan turbine, which I will discuss later, here you can say that see that water will flow parallel to the axis of rotation, and therefore this type of turbine is called as axial flow turbine. And in practical example, if we will consider the axial flow turbine, or if we will consider the axial flow turbine, the best example is Kaplan turbine. The one which I will show you in the image is Kaplan turbine. I will discuss this turbine in detail in the next lecture, because in this lecture we are only studying the turbine and their types. So just for that, you will know that Kaplan is a turbine in which the water will flow axially or will flow parallel to the axis of rotation. That's why we will call this as axial flow turbine. Or for example, this type of turbines are called as Kaplan turbines. Or you can say that Kaplan is an example of axial flow turbine. So second one is radial flow turbine, and that radial flow turbine is that when liquid is flowing mainly in a plane perpendicular to the axis of rotation. So here you can see that when the liquid is perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Like in the image you can see that here flow is just parallel to the axis of rotation. When it will be perpendicular? When this flow strikes here. So here you can say that this is axis of rotation and here it will strikes at 90 degree, or you can simply say that if this is the plate and this is the angle, here water strikes and this angle will be of 90 degree. Okay, are you getting my point? What I am trying to say here, this is axis, it is about which it act, and if we draw an angle it will about 90 degree to the plane of rotation. So these type of turbine are called as radial flow turbine, and this Pelton wheel comes under the category of radial flow, or we can say that tangential flow, because in that water will not enter in it, it just strike and leaves. So if I will explain it with the Francis turbine, you can see that this is a radial flow. After all, it is a mixed flow turbine, but what I am trying to say that here water, like this is the axis of rotation, water is entering through the perpendicular, water is entering perpendicular to the axis of rotation, or you can say that there is a 90-degree angle between the axis of rotation and in the inlet of the flow. So next point is mixed flow turbine. So mixed flow turbine is that type of turbine in which water will enter radially and leaves axially. In the first two, or in the above classification, we will see that either water is entering perpendicular to the axis of rotation or parallel to the axis of rotation. But if a turbine in which both of these two will occur, then that type of turbine is called as mixed flow turbine. I will show you this in a image, so kindly focus on that. What I am trying to say here, this makes an angle of 90 degree. Here this is an parallel to the axis of rotation. But if I will consider or compare it with this diagram, here look at this diagram, you can clearly see that water is entering the runner in a radial direction and leaving the runner in the axial direction. I will repeat once again. If you will consider this as the axis of rotation, water will entering the runner at radial direction and this angle is 90 degree, and now water start leaving, which is perpendicular to the axis of rotation. You can clearly see that if this is the axis of rotation, here entering at 90 degree and leaving at parallel to the direction of motion. So this type of turbine is called as mixed flow turbine. If we take an example, so you can say that Kaplan turbine is a pure axial turbine or axial flow turbine. Pelton wheel is a tangential turbine, or you can also say that this is a radial turbine. But most commonly we will call it a tangential flow turbine, because water is line makes an angle or making tangent with the runner. And the third category, which is of Francis turbine, is called as mixed flow turbine, in which the water is entering radially and leaving axially. So I think you will get that point, what I am trying to say. These three types of classification on the basis of flow path, or you simply say that the classification is based on the direction of flow of water, and on the basis of flow path we will classify into three categories: axial flow, radial flow, and mixed flow hydraulic turbine. So moving to our next slide, based on pressure change. Okay, kindly focus on this slide because this is the most important classification which will help you to solve the numericals if you want to really study the turbines in very deep manner. So the on the classification on the pressure change will help you a lot on solving the numericals on the reaction turbine as well as on the impulse turbine. So on the basis of pressure change we will classify into two categories, impulse turbine and reaction turbine. And here goes the first category, which is of impulse turbine. So if we take the definition here, its definition says that the pressure of liquid does not change while flowing through the rotor of the machine. Impulse turbine pressure change occur only the nozzle of the machine. For example, of for example, Pelton wheel. Okay, here I am trying to say that in an impulse turbine there is no change of pressure on the runner of the turbine. All those changes will occur before the leaving the jet through the penstock or nozzle. I will explain you with an image. Here you can see it clearly. So in that image you will see impulse turbine. This is the flow of water coming from the dam under a high pressure. So when this pressure is ejected through a nozzle, just focus on that. If we here is a pipe of diameter something d1, and if we contract its mouth or if we connect a nozzle, then here area start decreasing. And if area start decreasing, so in q by a formula v start increasing. As a result, this pressure start converging into kinetic energy. Once again I will repeat it to you. Let us consider a nozzle of varying area. This is a1, this is a2. Here a2 is less than a1. So we know that q by a is equal to v, and if area start decreasing, then v start increasing. And if v start increasing, then you can say that the pressure energy will start converting into kinetic energy, or you can say that the pressure energy will converted into kinetic energy. So in impulse turbine it will whole and soul operated by the kinetic energy of water, and all this conversion happens before leaving the nozzle, or you can say that all these happen in the penstock and nozzle. All this conversion, no conversion will take place on the runner of the turbine. I repeat, kindly remember that in impulse turbine no conversion will take place on the runner of the turbine. So if you see here, water here striking the buckets of the runner. This is the runner, this is the bucket. As you see there is mentioned, this is runner, these are buckets, this is casing, jet of water, nozzle, penstock, brake nozzle. In the previous lecture I had tell you about the penstock. It is a simple pipe which carry the water from the dam to the turbine. Just only the difference is that this pipe of a very small, very large diameter and made up of steel or frictionless material, so that there will be minimum head loss. So you will see in the image, as water comes from the penstock, it comes to the nozzle where it converted into kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy will strike the water, strike the bucket of the runner. And if buckets are mounted to the runner, when water strike the bucket, it will start rotating. As you see, here is a runner, Here is a shaft which is connected. Here buckets are mounted. I will show you the real image of this turbine after this. Let us consider here is a water which is coming from a penstock, and here is a nozzle by which it converted into kinetic energy, and this is the axis of rotation of turbine, and this is the flow of water. So if you will see here, it makes an angle of 90 degree, and here it strikes the bucket. So this is the bucket, and you will see that this jet will strike the bucket. As a result, bucket start deflecting, and it will connect it to the runner. As a result, runner will also start rotating. That bucket will moving like this, and it start rotating like this. So all I want to say that in this type of turbine, the impulsive energy will be used to rotate the turbine. I will discuss this impulse turbine or Pelton wheel turbine in detail in the next lecture. So here is just an introduction that what is the impulse turbine and how it will be classified. It is just a basic introduction. I will explain this in very much detailed manner in the next lecture. Here are the actual images of the turbine. As you see in the image, this is the nozzle. Let us change the pen. First of all, I will zoom it to you. Let us see that this is the nozzle, this is the buckets, this is shaft. I will draw a mark with the pencil so that you will clearly understand this. This is nozzle where I will draw an arrow. These are the buckets. These are the buckets. When nozzle strikes, the bucket rotates and the shaft is connected to the nozzle, which also start rotating, and at that shaft a generator is mounted. Many turbine will come with single jet, many turbine will come with double jet, triple jet or four jet. As you see in the image, there are 5 jets are mounted, and all these flow will be radial to the turbine. As you see, uh, this is radial, this is radial I tangential, this is tangential, this is tangential. So you can clearly see that a single runner is deflected by the multiple jets, and all the jets are only supplying the kinetic energy of the water. No pressure energy will be used, and this turbine no casing is required, because casing is required when there is a conversion of pressure energy, and in this turbine there is no conversion of pressure energy, hence so no casing will be required in this type of turbine. As you can see, these are open to the atmosphere. We will just cover it with a fiber sheet or fiber box so that the splashing of water will be prevented. As you see in the previous image, here a casing is provided. Only purpose of this casing is to prevent the splashing of water. Like this, here is a casing. If water strikes this, the after striking, water will split like this, and to avoid this splitting, we will provide a casing just to prevent the splashing of the water. And this type of turbine will require a larger head so that the large amount of kinetic head will be developed. I think you have got my point. I will discuss this in the detail in the next lecture. So next topic is reaction turbine. This is the most important turbine which you are going to study, because these type of turbine are used nowadays, and without knowing these reaction turbine you are not able to solve the numericals of the reaction turbine, because if there is a name given in the question, first of all you should know that this turbine will come under the category of which type of turbine, either it is a impulse turbine or reaction turbine. So kindly focus on this definition. If we go on the definition, the reaction turbine will say The pressure of liquid changes while it flows through the rotor of the machine. The change in fluid velocity and reduction in pressure is causes a reaction on the turbine blade. There is when a name from which the name came the reaction turbine. Or for example, Francis and Kaplan turbine. So what I want to say, in these turbine, the pressure of the penstock or pressure of the water will changes into the kinetic energy, and these change will apply a reaction on the blade. I will show you clearly this type of diagram. The basic difference I will discuss later. First of all, you would see reaction turbine. This is a reaction turbine, commonly known as Francis turbine, or basically it is a mixed flow turbine. So what I am trying to say, what are reaction turbines? So you can see in reaction turbine a spiral casing is provided, which will convert the pressure energy of the flowing water into kinetic energy. As you see, this is the inlet, and here if we consider section 1, little a1, and this is a2, and you can see that a1 is far greater than a2. So I will explain it this with the help of Bernoulli's theorem. And you know that Bernoulli's theorem is P upon rho g plus v square upon 2g plus z is equal to constant. As you see in spiral casing, this is a spiral casing. I will draw a spiral casing. This is a spiral casing. Here the area A2, this is area A1. As you see, area A1 is greater than A2, or we can see that as water proceeded inside, the area start decreasing. So if area start decreasing, what will happen? Q by A. In the formula Q by A, if area start decreasing, then what happen? Velocity start increasing. As a result, v square upon 2g will also increases. And what it will do in the Bernoulli equation, if the velocity head is increasing constantly, then there will be a reduction in pressure, because according to Bernoulli's theorem, any moving fluid or in any system, energy will only be transferred from pressure to kinetic or kinetic to pressure. There is no energy loss or no evacuation of energy from that system. So here if v2 square upon 2g, or velocity head will start increasing, so what it will do? All three are constant, and if this term start increasing, it will extract the pressure head into kinetic head. So this spiral casing will do what? It convert the pressure head into kinetic head. I repeat, this spiral casing will convert the pressure energy of the water into kinetic energy. So as you see here, when water start entering, the pressure energy is changed into kinetic energy, and at this change there is a reaction which will be applied on the blades of the turbine. If you see the blades, I will show you in the, if there are some images here, you can see these are the blades, here are the blades, and these are spiral casing. So these kinetic energy or pressure change will rotate the runner, and that rotation will occurs from the reaction of pressure to kinetic energy, and that's why these type of turbines are called as reaction turbines. Reaction turbines are basically divided into two categories. First one is Francis and second one is Kaplan. Francis and Kaplan. Basically Francis is a mixed flow turbine, because in that the both impulsive and pressure forces are countable. But in Kaplan turbine, which are pure reaction turbine, as you see the images, I have written the here reaction turbine. This is a Kaplan turbine in which pure reaction will occur. But if we take case of in Francis turbine, in this type of turbine, what happen when water start in entering, it will first of all apply the reaction, and then after leaving the jet it will provide the impulsive force to the runner. I will explain it in detail in the next lecture of the turbines, that is of Francis turbine or Kaplan turbine or Pelton wheel turbine. I will explain all the three types of turbine in detail, because you should know what this turbine will do and how these turbines are separate from each other. So just remember here that Francis is a mixed flow turbine, because in Francis turbine water will enter radially and it applies a reaction, and then it leave when it leaving the runner, it implies a impulsive force. So this is not a pure reaction turbine. It is a reaction turbine but not a pure reaction turbine, so that is why it is called as mixed flow turbine. Our pure reaction turbine is Kaplan turbine. Kaplan turbine, you will see in this diagram, this is a Kaplan turbine, this one. Okay, because in this Kaplan turbine water will completely uh, comes under the pressure and strikes the blade by the conversion of pressure into kinetic energy, and there are no other impulsive force are applied on the blades. That why it is called as pure reaction turbine. And now, what is the basic difference between impulsive and reaction turbine? If I continue with the definition, the basic and the main difference between the impulse and reaction turbine is that there is a pressure change in the fluid as it passes through the runner of reaction turbine, while in impulse turbine there is no pressure change in the runner. Or what I am trying to say, in impulse turbine there is no pressure change, or all this happen uh, in within the penstock and the nozzle, no change in the runner or on the runner with the help of casing. So that type of turbine are called as impulse turbine. But when we consider reaction turbine, in reaction turbine there is a spiral casing, which is an airtight casing provided, in which a runner is submerged, and with the help of that casing the energy of the water will partially converted into kinetic energy, and therefore the pressure energy and kinetic energy both will operate the reaction turbine. So these are the basic difference, that in impulse turbine only the impulsive force, that is kinetic head, will be provided, or we can calculate it from the Newton's second law of motion, dmv upon dt, where we can calculate the impulsive force. But if we can take the reaction turbine, in reaction turbine we will we have to calculate both forces. First of all, a pressure head which are directly supplied with the penstock, and this pressure head which is converted in partially into kinetic head with the help of the casing. So these are the basic difference between impulse and reaction turbine. And last classification is based on the head. So as you see, high head turbine, medium head turbine and low head turbine. As you see, high head turbines are above 250 meter. This is just an example to explain you. In practical purpose these are vary from 50 to 250 meters or so on. We can say that when we have to operate the Pelton wheel requires a larger head and low discharge, or we can say that Pelton wheel turbine will require a very large head or very high head. So this type of turbine is suitable when a dam is built in a mountainous region, because in that region there is a valley surrounded by mountains in which a river flow, and we have to only construct a dam in a passage or in the path of the river, and that as a result water start storing besides the dam or in the upstream of the dams, and we will get a high head. So these type of turbine will only used when there is dam or hydropower plant is to be constructed on a mountainous region where we are getting a high amount of head, for example 50 to 250 meters. Okay, so medium head turbine will come from here. This is a mistake, will come from you can say that 60 to 100. These are just readings which are experimental which are from this some experiments, but you simply if I will explain you on the new screen, you will simply see it that first one is Pelton wheel, which comes under the category of high head. So let us take an example 100 meter to 250 meter, or we can say that when there is a head which is of 100 meter to 250 meter, the best suitable turbine for that head is Pelton wheel turbine, because Pelton wheel requires high head but low discharge. So first category clear. Now second category is your Francis turbine. Francis turbine is a I will correct it, Francis, FRANCIS. Francis turbine is also called as global turbine because this is a mixed flow turbine in which we are using the reaction forces as well as impulsive forces. And Francis turbine is called as global turbine because in 90% of the hydropower plant it will be used, because it is highly efficient and it offers a wide range of operation, because it will operate from 50-meter head to 250-meter head. We are getting a large scale to manipulate or to compromise. So we are getting 50 to 250 meter of head. We can easily apply the Francis turbine and extract the energy from the flowing water. So Francis turbine is called as medium head turbine, and it required medium head and medium discharge. Just remember, it only required medium head and medium discharge. Okay. Now last one is low head turbine. Low head turbine, and that is your Kaplan turbine. It required low head but high discharge, or this type of turbine is used where head is very low but discharge is very high, or we can see that where a dam is built which is not up to height of 100 meter or 250 meter, or we can say that when a dam is built around 50 to 60 meter, and water is stored about up to height of 50 meter, then we are getting only a head of 50 meter, and but we are getting a large amount of discharge. So Kaplan turbine is a pure reaction turbine which will operate on the low head and high discharge. So if I explain it in the main image, you can see high head turbine, it required low discharge. Francis turbine required head and discharge both on medium basis. Kaplan turbine required low head and high discharge. So if you want to take a screenshot, then kindly note it down. First Pelton wheel, which required high head but low discharge. Second Francis turbine, which require medium head and medium discharge. And third one is Kaplan turbine, which required low head and high discharge. So these are the classification of turbines. First one is on the basis of axis of rotation, second one is basis of pressure change, and third one is on the basis of head. So thank you very much for joining or for watching, and see you in the next lecture. In the next lecture I will explain the Pelton wheel turbine, and later on I will also explain the Francis turbine and Kaplan turbine in detail. So stay tuned and connected, and do like and subscribe if you really like this video. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.